Luigi Mangione. He is the suspected killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
I think you say it Mangione. Is that how you say it?
I've heard it both ways, and I don't know. Is
You're
like,
Italian,
true Italian
Panda?
out there? Can they tell me? Is it Mangione or Mangione?
Like a Chuck Mangione?
I thought it was Mangione.
Mangione? I heard somebody else say Mangione.
They have on TV. They were saying Mangione this morning, but I was like, I think it's Mangione.
Can we ask him?
I don't know that you can get to him, and when he's speaking right now, he is screaming.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, you saw him yesterday when they were taking him in for a hearing about sending him back to New York to face off against his crimes. He was yelling out stuff about, how it's completely out of touch and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience. So,
does he just not want to be extradited to New York?
I don't know what his whole thing is. You couldn't really get much from just that one sentence. So where he is, I assume he doesn't want to. He's going to plead not guilty to all of this, going to try to fight it. So we'll see. But, it doesn't look good. I mean, at the time of his arrest, he was carrying a 3D printed pistol, a silencer, multiple fake IDs, had a handwritten manifesto expressing grievances against the healthcare industry. You think that's just an odd coincidence?
Is that enough
His lawyer was saying, you got no proof it was him.
I mean, Kevin has rattled off 11 things.
The lawyer just said it.
I mean,
you got no proof it's him.
If it's not him, what a terrible coincidence. Just be like, oh my gosh, they got another guy who looks just like me.
His lawyer was yelling, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, and that's the way it does work. But, dog, honestly, the law team of Kevin and Bird could convict this guy.
If you're not the guy that did it and you have all that on you, you just go, there are days and then there are days.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's kind of what's going on. But there has to be a bigger conversation that happens here about what people's feelings are towards the health industry. There's no way you can justify the killing of CEO Brian Thompson. I don't like that. Don't want to go there. Can't do it. Some people are trying to do that, and they're trying to make this Luigi some kind of cult hero, and that's not the right move at all. I'm sorry that he was in the circumstances he was in. And I did see on the news yesterday, how we were talking about how he could not have physical relations with women, and that was frustrating him.
Yeah.
That was a little tidbit we gave you yesterday. That hit the news with his roommate last night. I saw that. And so, look, the guy's in pain. When you have back pain, neck pain, whatever, Bird, you know about that. It does. It is aggravating, and it puts you in a state of continual anger.
I do want to go on the record, though. My peen works fine. It is better than ever.
Didn't want to put you in that, yeah.
Prove it.
Just want to make sure we get that out.
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of people that are looking at this, and I thought it was interesting, too, looking at the Affordable Care Act that was passed back in March of 2010. That apparently, even though we got something that's supposed to make it better for Americans getting health care, they say that it's actually gotten worse in America. Expanding affordable health insurance has not really happened since we passed that. They say that since the Obamacare came around, now 1 in 5 claims in America gets denied.
Wow.
20% of all claims. And I think that United Healthcare, they were at 32. So they were the highest of all of them, and that was the CEO who died in the shooting.
I watched Uncle Jerry, my son's godfather, my very best friend. I watched him go through hell these past 2 months because the insurance company delays and delays and delays. And you want to go and you want to have your exploratory treatments. You want to have the doctor be able to go look in his neck where he has throat cancer. And the insurance company denied it. And they said, nope, you have to wait a week. Wait a week for what? Like, Why would I want to wait a week for cancer to get stronger and grow more in my neck when I know I have cancer there? We've all established that. And now you're telling me I have to wait another week before I can go and have them do exploratory surgery. Like, it's just unbelievable. It's not the doctors, it's the insurance.
Yeah, millions of Americans are frustrated with the health care and the cost of it in America. They say in 2024, the average health insurance premium rose $25,572 for families, about $9,000 for single workers. That's about 6 to 7% respectively for both. people are feeling the pinch. And with the high cost of everything out there, they do not like it. And they say premium growth has outpaced inflation almost every year since the year 2000.
Look, if they have the kind of profit margins that allow them to pay Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, $10 million a year plus bonuses, they are making a lot of money.
That's what makes people so frustrated is how much these CEOs are making and the fact that people can't get a penny out of their insurance that they feel like they're paying for, and they are. So it is really a tough thing, and it needs to be addressed because the feelings of Americans out there are very angry. Now, I thought this was rather interesting because the manhunt to try to find Luigi Mangione, it only went on about 4 days.
Which I was shocked it went on that long.
I think they knew who he was. They just didn't know where he was.
Right. So that's still, you're on the lam. They're trying to track you down.
Yeah, but just because they know who you... That makes it even more impressive that you eluded them for so long.
He should have gone to the woods, not to McDonald's.
Yeah, that's it. The one that I remember... that really kind of impressed me was the guy in North Carolina. Remember, he headed out into the woods?
Yeah.
Was that the guy that had done the bombing in Atlanta?
I don't remember. Was
Might
it the
have been,
Unabomber?
Unabomber went out in the woods, but Unabomber didn't get... It took forever to find him.
Yeah, Unabomber was out there a while, but it was Eric Rudolph I'm thinking about. That was 5 years.
Wow.
He was on the lam. They finally got him. I think he came out of the woods in North Carolina. He was a survivalist, too. Like, he's one of those people who could live off the land. He came down. I think he used a dumpster in North Carolina, and they got him that way.
He could live a week off a squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But somebody said these are some of the greatest manhunts that we've had in America. And one that South Floridians would remember was the Andrew Cunanan manhunt that happened back in 97.
The Versace murder.
Right. Yeah.
How long did that go for?
He was living on that houseboat in Miami, I think, for a while. It was several weeks, if I remember right.
It was. And they were looking everywhere for him. And literally, he was listening to all the news reports, and he was right there.
Yeah. That was
right under their nose.
Right under their nose, living on a houseboat. That's a really good movie they did on that whole thing. I watched it not too long ago. It was good.
I know a big one also in Florida too that happened was Ted Bundy back in the day. That was a nationwide.
Yeah, he was on the run there for a while, right?
Well, he escaped prison 2 different times, which is insane. And the second time he escaped, he drove down, or he got down to Florida. And some of the belief was that he wanted to get down to a state where they had the death penalty. So if he did get caught, it could be lights out. But then you hear contradictions of he was such a little baby and a little bitch when they were walking him down to get, electrocuted that he was begging and pleading, please don't kill me. I'll tell you where more bodies are at. So
wow.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the truth is there.
Right. Yeah,
but yeah, he was on the lam for a minute, a couple weeks, I believe.
And then there's some other classics too. They say maybe America's biggest manhunt of all time was the person who assassinated Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth. Now, keep in mind, you're talking 1865, whatever, but it was 12 days that he was on the run. And imagine somebody assassinates the president and you can't find him. 12 days, that'd be quite a bit of time, even in that era.
Yeah.
You would think it would be easier to hide out, though, back then, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, because well, look now. You can't go anywhere without a camera. That's why they got this kid. They knew exactly where he was. They had him riding bikes. They could pinpoint where he had gone, from the hostel to the shooting, through Central Park, on a bus. And then you get somebody. There were photos of him in that McDonald's. He had taken his mask off to eat, and the one person saw it. And at the same time, they snapped a photo. You didn't have that back in John Wilkes Booth day.
The one that creeped me out that I lived through, and I know y'all remember it, we talked about it last week, was that Beltway sniper, or whatever they called that the D.C. sniper. They were picking people off at the gas station.
That took them a while.
It did, and it seemed like every other day, or even sometimes twice a day, they'd have victims. That was scary.
They had 10 people that died in that. 3 others were critically injured, and it was going on through 2002, and it would just be random out of nowhere. And remember, they were hiding in the trunk of that car. They'd haul it out where they could shoot the gun through it.
Yeah,
How
that
hard
was
is that to find?
insane.
Yeah, so a bullet just comes out of the trunk of a car and hits somebody.
I just remember the news. It seemed every night had a new report or a victim or a shooting going on with that thing. It was freaky. Every time I'd get gas, it would make you think.
Yeah.
That's what he would do. He'd shoot you when you were getting gas.
Yeah, there have been some. I don't think that the Hot Assassin is going to be one of the top ones in America, but it definitely was something that has been something that we've all paid attention to this entire week.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.